So, there I was, scrolling through my phone, desperate for an escape. Too many news alerts, too many pointless online arguments. I needed out. My therapist said find a place with less drama. Instantly, I thought Canada, America's polite, upstairs neighbor. Universal healthcare, national animal is a beaver. What's not to love? I pictured the East Coast, a gentle ocean, cliffs, wind in my hair, and maybe some profound thoughts about dinner. I packed flannel, ready for a journey that would be pleasant, not life-changing. My friends were baffled. Canada? Why? Isn't it just trees and cold? I tried to explain. It's like a parallel universe where everything's just a bit nicer, and the biggest scandal is maple syrup prices. I craved the quiet hum of a well-oiled social democracy. The flight was a preview, smiling attendants, maple biscuits, no chaos, almost unsettling. I landed in Halifax, breathed in the crisp air, and braced myself for a tidal wave of moderate enjoyment. My great Canadian escape had begun, and I was determined to remain completely unchanged by it. But Canada had other plans. The calm was almost suspicious. I was ready for tranquility, for a vacation that wouldn't demand a single epiphany. I just wanted to be somewhere that didn't feel like a reality show. The adventure was on, and I was armed with flannel and low expectations. I was about to find out if Canada really was as drama-free as advertised. Spoiler, it's even quieter than you think. And yes, the beavers are real. I was ready for the gentle, polite unknown. Let the escape begin. Next stop, the tides. First stop, Bay of Fundy. You have to see the tides, everyone said. I rolled my eyes. Water goes up, water goes down. Big deal, right? But at Hopewell Rocks, I walked on the ocean floor among giant flowerpot rocks. It was like the Grand Canyon took a bath and forgot to drain. I tried to be unimpressed, but the scale was humbling. Then the water crept back in, slow, silent, relentless. Where I just walked was now 50 feet underwater. The rocks became islands. The landscape transformed before my eyes. It was nature's way of saying, you are very, very small. I wanted to be sarcastic, but the moon was literally moving the ocean. Hard to top that. Canada, you win this round. The bay didn't scream for attention, it just quietly overwhelmed you. I left with a strange sense of calm, which was not on my itinerary. Tried to explain it to my friend. The water comes in, then goes out. He didn't get it, but it's impossible to capture. You have to see it. It's a force of nature that makes your problems feel tiny. That's the point. The world is big, weird, and wonderful. Your anxieties, just a drop in a very high tide. And the tide, it won't apologize for your wet boots. Onward to relentless charm. Next, Prince Edward Island. After the drama of the tides, I needed something gentler. Enter Prince Edward Island. PEI is aggressively charming. Green hills, red sand beaches, lighthouses everywhere. It's like a postcard stretched over an entire province. I half expected Anne of Green Gables to offer me a cordial. Everything was neat, tidy, and almost suspiciously pleasant. The fields were impossibly green, the soil red, the ocean blue, a primary color paradise. I searched for a single piece of litter. Nothing, not even a rogue coffee cup. Where's the grit, the chaos? PEI felt like it had just been cleaned for a magazine shoot. Cavendish Beach, red sand, clear water, families flying kites, dogs chasing frisbees, wholesome overload. I tried to complain. The sun was too bright, the breeze too gentle. It was impossible. Then I saw a field of lupins, purple, pink, white, stretching forever. I was supposed to be immune to this, but I took 50 identical photos. I'd been conquered by flowers. PEI didn't just offer charm, it demanded adoration. It was a gentle, floral dictatorship, and I was a loyal subject. My life wasn't supposed to be changed by lupins, but here we are. The island's beauty was relentless. I surrendered to the charm. Next, Newfoundland's wild edge. Time for something epic. Iceberg Alley awaits. Newfoundland. If PEI is a storybook, this is an epic saga. Rugged, wild, the edge of the world. The main event, Iceberg Alley, where ancient glaciers float by every spring. I thought, big ice cube, so what? I was wrong. On a boat in Twillingate, I saw an iceberg the size of a shopping mall. It glowed blue, thousands of years old, most of it hidden beneath the waves. Our boat felt like a bathtub toy next to it. The iceberg groaned and cracked, indifferent to our existence. It was the most metal thing I've seen in nature. I tried to be witty, but what do you say to a 10,000-year-old mountain of ice? It was a piece of the Arctic delivered to your doorstep, a stark reminder of the planet's power and history. My life wasn't changed, but my definition of big ice cube was. Newfoundland, where nature doesn't care if you're impressed. Next, the wildlife conspiracy. Canada's animals are up to something. Canada's wildlife, majestic moose, powerful bears, adorable puffins, or so the brochures say. I was ready, camera in hand, to become a wildlife photographer, but I'm convinced the animals are actors, paid by the tourism board. Days of hiking, searching for a moose, nothing, just squirrels, rats with better PR. Then at sunset in Newfoundland, a moose appeared, perfectly framed, totally disinterested. It felt staged, like a government employee on break. Puffins, same deal. Boat tour to a rocky island, thousands of cartoonish birds posing for photos. Too perfect. These were professional puffins, trained for maximum awe. Real Canadian wildlife is shy. The ones you see are decoys. The real moose and bears are deep in the woods, laughing at us tourists. Puffins probably have tiny dressing rooms in the cliffs. It's the only explanation for wildlife that's so photogenic. Well played, Canada. I'm on to you. The conspiracy is real and adorable. Next, the lobster roll that ruined me. Prepare your taste buds. This is serious. The quest for the perfect sandwich begins. Spoiler, I found it, and now nothing else compares. Thanks, Canada. You can't visit the Maritimes and skip the lobster. It's everywhere. Restaurants, shacks, even gas stations. I was on a mission, find the perfect lobster roll. In the US, it's a gamble. Too much mayo, sad bread. But in Nova Scotia, I found a tiny shack by the water, run by a bearded fisherman. He grabbed a live lobster, disappeared, and returned with a masterpiece. Toasted bun, huge chunks of lobster, a hint of mayo, sprinkle of paprika. No filler, no nonsense, just pure lobster. I took a bite and understood the meaning of life. Or at least, the meaning of sandwiches. It was so fresh, so perfect, it ruined me for all other lobster rolls. I can never go back. That roll set an impossibly high standard. It was more than food. It was an experience, a direct connection to the place. My life wasn't changed, but my sandwich standards were. Canada, you've spoiled me. I ate in blissful silence, knowing I'd never find its equal. Sometimes, the simplest things are the most profound. Next, meeting a real live Canadian. Spoiler, they're as nice as advertised. And yes, there's a turnip involved. Stay tuned. Meeting Canadians is an experience in itself. Their politeness is legendary and real. In a tiny Newfoundland grocery store, I was lost in the vegetable aisle. A local woman spotted me, offered help, and steered me away from a sad turnip. She gave me a recipe for Jig's dinner. Boil it with salt pork, mash with butter. We chatted about New York, her grandkids, fishing, and the weather. It wasn't deep, just nice. A simple, human connection with a stranger. No agenda, no rush, just two people talking in a grocery store. In the city, you avoid eye contact. Here, it felt natural. Behind the jokes about sorry, there's real warmth. A conversation about a turnip became a lesson in hospitality. I bought the turnip. It was delicious. Sometimes, the smallest moments stick with you. Canada's greatest export might be its kindness. Next, the inevitable comparison. America versus Canada. Let's settle this. Spoiler, it's not a competition. But the beaver wins for charm. As an American in Canada, comparisons are inevitable. US coasts are all spectacle. Hollywood, Miami, chaos. Canada's East Coast is a quiet book, not a blockbuster. The beauty is subtle. The excitement is a tide rising, not a roller coaster. It's about being, not doing. Like comparing an action movie to an indie film, both great, totally different. Americans are direct, loud, sometimes abrasive. Canadians are gentle, genuinely helpful, operating at a lower volume. Even their patriotism is quieter, pride in landscapes, communities, healthcare. It's not better or worse, just different. Like a bald eagle versus a beaver, one fierce, one industrious. Both impressive, both uniquely their own. Canada's flavor of national identity is humble, and it's refreshing. The comparison isn't about winning, it's about appreciating the difference. And sometimes, a quieter place is exactly what you need. Next, the only real revelation I had. It's about socks. Did Canada change my life? Not really. I didn't come back a new person or quit my job to chase icebergs. But something shifted, a subtle recalibration. I expected politeness and pretty scenery. I didn't expect to be genuinely moved. The tides, the icebergs, a turnip conversation, they got under my skin. The biggest change? Socks. Before, I thought all socks were equal. But after muddy, fundy floors and rocky Newfoundland trails, I discovered the magic of good wool hiking socks. Dry feet, no blisters, pure comfort, true revelation. Canada didn't give me a spiritual awakening, but it gave me better socks. And a reminder, the quiet wonders are just as powerful as the loud ones. Sometimes, the most profound experiences don't scream for attention, they just are. And a good lobster roll can bring a tear to your eye. My life isn't changed, but my feet are happier, and my standards are higher. For that, Canada, thank you. Sorry it took me so long.